Okay, so creating a podcast, even one that you love, takes a lot of work, you know.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be amazing if you could just kind of like automate some of that stuff?
Absolutely.
So that's what we were looking into today. Cloud browser. It's this cloud-based platform that says it can do just that. So could this be like the ultimate time saver for podcasters?
Well, it's an intriguing idea, right?
Yeah.
Harnessing the power of the cloud to automate all those little things we do online.
Exactly.
And I think of all the stuff you do online for your podcast. What if some of that could just happen?
Yeah.
Automatically.
So let's start with the basics. Like, what is Cloud Browser?
Right. Well, at its core, it's like having this virtual assistant
Okay.
that lives online and can do all those web-based tasks that you'd normally do yourself.
Interesting.
Yeah, you tell it what to do, and it does it all within a browser environment.
Yeah.
And the best part is it all happens in the cloud.
Okay.
You know, no software to install, no servers to manage,
That's a plus.
right? So it means you can just get up and running quickly. Okay, but how techie do you have to be to use it?
Well,
I mean, that's a good question.
I like efficiency, but I don't want to spend hours learning how to code.
No. It seems to be pretty user-friendly, actually.
Yeah.
They emphasize a simple 3-step process, get a token connect, and automate.
3 steps.
Sounds pretty straightforward, even for someone like me.
Okay. But how does it work, like, in practice?
Well, the token is kind of like your unique ID.
Uh-huh.
It connects your instructions to the cloud browser system.
Got it.
And once you're connected, you can use their interface.
Okay.
Or you can even tap into Puppeteer, which is a browser automation tool.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah. And what's really cool is Cloud Browser can work with both Puppeteer and like regular browsers like Chrome and Firefox.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal for podcasters who use a bunch of different tools.
Absolutely. So it adapts to different workflows.
Exactly.
All right. But let's get to the heart of it. How can podcasters actually use this to streamline their process? Any examples?
Oh, tons. I think about all the research you do for each episode, you know?
So much research.
Scouring websites, reading articles, maybe even diving into social media.
All the time.
What if you could automate that?
Okay, now you're talking. Tell me more.
All right. So you could literally tell Cloud Browser, hey, I'm doing an episode about, let's say, the history of podcasting.
Okay.
Find me the top 10 articles, 3 relevant academic studies, and any interesting Twitter threads about it.
And it'll do it.
And it goes and gathers it all for you.
Wait, it can pull from all those different sources?
Yep.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I spend so much time just like collecting and organizing research.
That's exactly what Cloud Browser is designed for. It could even put it all into a nice organized document ready for you.
Oh man, no more endless tabs.
No more endless tabs.
No more copy pasting.
Exactly.
Okay, you've told me on that part, but what about other tasks?
Yeah.
Like audio editing or show notes? Can it help with that too?
Well, those are great questions, and I think we should explore those possibilities further. So audio editing and show notes, huh?
Yeah. Can it help with those?
I mean, it's definitely
worth looking into.
Right? Because, like, those are the most time-consuming parts of podcasting for me.
Yeah, for sure. And a lot of it is those, like, really repetitive tasks that could be automated.
Yeah.
So for actual audio editing, you know, Cloud Browser probably can't replace a human editor yet.
Right.
At least not completely.
Makes sense.
But there are definitely parts of it that it could streamline.
Like what?
Like, think about file organization.
Okay.
Or, like, making sure everything's named correctly. Or even uploading the final files to your hosting platform.
You know what? That's a really good point. I hadn't even thought about that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it can't do all the editing itself,
right,
just taking care of that stuff would save a ton of time.
Exactly. It frees up your editor to focus on the creative side of things.
Totally. It's like finding that balance between what humans are good at and what machines can do better.
Exactly. And then for show notes.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of potential there, too.
Like what?
Imagine it could pull timestamps from your audio, like automatically, and then format them all nice and neat in your show notes.
Dude, timestamps are the worst.
I know, right?
So it could just take care of that?
Yeah, and it could even add links to anything you mention.
Ooh. Like to a book or a website?
Yeah, exactly. It could listen for those keywords.
Wow.
And then fetch the links automatically.
No, that's just cool.
It is pretty futuristic.
So I'm looking at their pricing, and it mentions these units.
Right.
What are those?
So basically, each unit is like a specific action that the virtual browser does.
So it's like
visiting a web page, filling out a form, downloading a file, stuff like that.
So the more you do, the more units you need.
Exactly. And they have different plans based on how many units you need each month.
So if I'm doing a lot of research,
right,
or automating across like different platforms,
yeah,
I might need a higher tier plan.
Exactly. It's super scalable.
Okay, this all sounds pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But I have to ask, doesn't this feel a little impersonal?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if I'm automating so much of my podcast,
yeah,
won't it lose that human touch that people connect with?
That's a really good question. And it's important to think about the ethics of automation.
Yeah.
It's a tool.
Right.
And like any tool, it can be used for good or bad.
So we need to be careful.
Yeah, we need to think about which tasks we automate and which ones need that human touch.
So it's about finding that balance.
Exactly. You don't want to lose the heart of your show.
Right. People listen for my voice, my insights.
Yeah, your personality.
And automation should enhance those things, not replace them.
Exactly. I'm really glad you brought that up.
Me too. It's easy to get caught up in the tech.
For sure.
And forget about why we're doing this in the first place.
Absolutely. And, you know, when you automate those repetitive tasks, you free up so much time and energy.
For sure.
And then you can focus on the creative stuff, like brainstorming new ideas, coming up with stories, connecting with your audience in a deeper way.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, it's about working smarter, not harder.
I love that.
And ultimately, that makes your podcast better for everyone.
Absolutely. This has been really insightful.
Glad to hear it.
I want to keep talking about this.
Okay.
And like dive into some more specific examples.
Sounds good.
All right. So I've been thinking about all the different parts of making a podcast.
Yeah.
And like how Cloud Browser could actually fit in.
Right.
So let's say I'm doing an episode about AI.
Okay.
Like all the latest trends.
Cool.
Where could I use Cloud Browser to like streamline things?
Well, it depends on how you do things now.
Yeah.
And the tools you use. But let's imagine this.
Okay.
You've got your topic. Now you need information.
Right. Tons of research.
Exactly. But instead of like manually searching websites and articles, you could just tell Cloud Browser.
Okay.
Find me 5 recent articles about AI trends. From reputable tech publications.
Got it.
And then maybe see if there are any interesting discussions on Reddit or Twitter.
So while I'm like working on my outline or finding guests, Cloud Browser is out there doing all the research.
Exactly. It's like having a research assistant that never sleeps.
I like the sound of that.
And you can even be super specific with your instructions, you know?
Like,
tell it what keywords to look for, what sources to avoid, even like prioritize certain types of content.
Okay, that's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
But what happens when it's done?
Right.
Does it just like dump a ton of links on me?
No. You can tell it how to organize the information.
Okay.
So maybe you want like a summary document with the key takeaways from each article.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Or maybe a spreadsheet with all the links and publication dates.
Oh, that's good too.
Yeah, and even a little description of each one.
No more information overload.
Exactly.
Okay, so now I'm done recording my episode.
All right.
And it's time for show notes.
Show notes time, yeah.
How can Cloud Browser help with that?
Okay, so picture this.
All right.
You upload your audio file. Cloud Browser automatically creates a transcript.
Using like...
Yeah, a service like Descript or Otter.ai.
Okay.
And then it pulls out the timestamps.
Automatically.
Right, puts them right into your show notes document.
So I don't have to go back and listen and find all those moments?
It does it all for you.
Amazing. And what about links?
Oh, yeah.
Can it do that too?
It can actually listen for certain keywords.
Really?
And then add links to websites or articles.
Even like social media profile.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, this is incredible. I mean, it sounds like Cloud Browser could save podcasters so much time.
Yeah, it really could.
And then they can focus on being creative.
That's the whole idea. It's about working smarter, not harder.
Absolutely.
And when you streamline all those little tasks, you have more time for the important stuff, like telling great stories, connecting with your audience, building a community.
I love these. So anyone listening who's feeling overwhelmed by all the behind-the-scenes stuff.
It's a lot.
Cloud Browser is definitely worth checking out.
For sure.
It's not about replacing us.
Right.
It's about helping us do what we do best.
Exactly.
And, you know, the possibilities are endless.
Totally. As technology keeps getting better.
Yeah.
Who knows what amazing tools are coming next?
It's an exciting time to be a podcaster.
It really is.
So if you're ready to take your podcast to the next level, check out Cloud Browser.
And remember, even with all this cool tech, don't forget what makes your podcast special.
Right.
Your voice, your passion, your connection with your listeners.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Awesome.
Until next time, happy podcasting, everyone.